Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit more fun. We're going to be going off script, which is new to me. I typically like to script my videos. I like to come across like I know what I'm talking about without fumbling my words. But I think the less structured that this activity is, the better. So I thought it would be fun to look up 1-star reviews of books that I love. I would love to show you my genuine reaction to some of these reviews. Just a warning, I don't know what's going to happen. Things may get heated. Just putting that disclaimer out there right now. I'm a little nervous that my heart is going to get torn to shreds. Reading people's negative reviews or opinions about something I love can be disheartening. I don't want them ruined for me. So the books I'm going to be looking at today, some are old that I read way before this channel, way before I got back into reading, and some are new that you may have seen me talk about in book review videos. But those books are The Alchemist, the ACOTAR series, my absolute love. I love these books, I don't have words. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I finished back in January as part of book club. The Cruel Prince series, which is a series that I just finished in August. We've got a classic, 1984 by George Orwell. Rules of Civility by Amor, Towles. Murder on the Orient Express by the great Agatha Christie. And taking it back, way back to my childhood, the Anne of Green Gables series, because I haven't read it in maybe 20 years, but it still holds a special place in my heart, and I'm just very curious to see what people think of it. Before we get into it, I would really appreciate it if you guys would give this video a thumbs up, like it, really helps with my engagement. And if you like what you're watching, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do all things books, bookish related, reading, writing. So if that's your cup of tea, then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Okay, with all of the formalities out of the way, let's get into it. I feel like this video is gonna be emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
Okay, here we are in Goodreads. Let's start off by reading what people think about The Alchemist. This is gonna break my little heart. I think I already know what to expect with this. It's really a book, as popular as it is, it's not for everyone. It is very spiritual, it's very self-help, metaphorical, not for everybody. I adore it. It's like a 6 out of 5 stars for me, but let's see where we can see 1-star reviews. Oh God, I'm so scared. Okay, 1 star. Oh boy, utter drivel. The book was badly written.
Emotional damage!
Okay, right off the bat. What? Righteous, condescending, preachy, and worst of all, the ending was morally questionable. All the fables and stories are stolen from elsewhere. That I'm not familiar with what the inspiration is for The Alchemist. Religious ideas and spirituality are badly mixed, and everything is so obvious. Wow, that was harsh. I obviously don't feel this way at all, and what I would push back on with this is saying it was badly written. I don't think so, but maybe that's all subjective. I don't know. Damn, did we read the same book? Like, what? Okay, let's try another one. The problem with this book is not just that it's bad, which it certainly is.
Is it though?
Warwick, I feel like that's debatable, Warwick. But that there are so many people out there who want to corner you at parties and tell you how it's totally changed their lives. In a way, you might as well read it just so you can see how feeble-minded they must be to get any kind of philosophical nourishment out of this inexhaustible stream of cliches.
Wow.
The profound lessons you'll learn from this book amount to nothing more than the several variations on the theme of only the very ugly is truly beautiful, only the very stupid are really intelligent, only black is white, and only up is down, etc., etc. That's not the lessons of the book, but okay. I don't think that those are even variations. Maybe the first one, but I think The Alchemist is just good at providing different contrasts and comparisons. The writing is too simple to be really bad, but it's the content that gets you. By the end of the book, you'll want to track down the Philosopher's Stone yourself and carefully beat Coelho to death with it. Oh my God, this is horrible. Sucks. If books were pills, Alchemist would be a sugar-coated placebo with no real effect. Let's call it a feel-good homily. I have never read a book as meretricious as this one. Many reviewers have pointed out the problems with this celebrated novel, so I'd rather not expend any more words. Suffice it to say that this is a good example of portentous writing that is best avoided if your benchmark is quality literature.
The word you're looking for is... anyway.
Superficially deep, i.e. deep on the surface and shallow underneath, but actually rather pretentious new age waffle.
Are you sure that's the best thing for you right now? Oh, it's the best thing on the menu.
Yet somehow manages to be beautiful despite that. I would have enjoyed it in my late teens, early 20s, when I enjoyed Jonathan Livingston Seagull, but reading this as an adult, I found it annoyingly unsubtle. I don't think that's what it was trying to do. I don't think it's trying to be subtle. Reading and disliking this was something of a watershed a few years earlier, and I'd probably have loved it, but as it was, I realized I turned into a cynical adult, and I know where I get that from. Well, at least Cecily recognizes that she's the problem. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Listen, everybody is entitled to opinions like this. I obviously don't agree at all, but you know. Okay, let's move on to the ACOTAR series. We'll just do the first two. Spoilers. ACOTAR. Okay, starting off strong, Holly feels like this is it. This is the stupidest book I've ever read. Sorry to hear that, Holly. Aileen says, I'm a second away from dousing myself in gasoline and lighting myself on fire just so I never have to look at this book again. That is very dramatic, Aileen. Very dramatic.
But he's not my best friend.
Oh.
Oh my god. Hey, Teddy.
Hey.
So, you just heard all that, and you're on fire.
Feed Laney will be back, says, feed pressure is real. I swear Maas's protagonists worry about the most ridiculous things. See here, Feyre, which is not spelled correctly, from the very first day after she got kidnapped, suddenly thought of her captor as a love interest. I'm not kidding you here, because why else would she keep wondering if he actually remembered her name? Or that she helped him patch up his injury that he didn't say goodbye when she left the room after. Like, what the heck, girl? I just could not get myself into this. I feel like singing out too long, too long, too long. The book was repetitive and long-winded with so much unnecessary information. I just sigh. Fair enough. I feel like the first book is a little bit of a drag. Takes a bit to get into it. I would say the payoff of the series is book 2. So I would say, Lainey, give book 2 a try if you haven't. Maybe that's where you find that you fall in love with the series like so many other people have. But totally cool if you don't like it. If it's not your cup of tea, that's totally fine. Let's go to the second one, because I feel like that, if you don't like the second book, that to me is shocking. This one I can see, it's long, takes a while to get into things, I get it. A Court of Mist and Fury. Let's see. For me, this is a stunning book. It's perfect. That's my opinion though. I'm confused. Readasaurus. These are all books. Everybody wrote a book about this book.
One eternity later.
Just what I expected. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere. DNF, seriously, anyone who manages to finish this book deserves an award. What? There's no world building. False. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. There's like nothing short about any of these, and I'm not gonna read these novel reviews of this book. Not gonna happen. Okay, let's move on to Cruel Prince. Okay, here's a short and sweet one. Thank you, Varia. This is how you write a review, short and sweet. Thank you. Varia says, because of the hype, I feel like I am the only one to say this about this series, but seriously, it was extremely slow paced and I almost got bored to death. Anything interesting only happened in the last 5 minutes of each book, which compelled you to read the next and rinse and repeat. It wasn't worth it. I did not feel that way at all, but each their own. Why I hate The Cruel Prince with every fiber of my being. Let's start off with the most awkward writing that conveyed no emotion and lacked the beckoning of any form of attachment to Jude for the reader to have. This book is all tell, no show, and so damn repetitive, it made me want to shit out my intestines.
Wow. 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 Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
Damn. You know what? Reading these is very interesting how people can have such different takeaways from the same book. Boring, confusing, slow series with a world that feels flat and deterring. Jeez. I heard about this book on social media such as BookTube and BookTok, and everyone was saying how awesome it was, but I really did not like it. I ended up DNFing the series because there was no plot or anything. What? It takes me weeks, if not months, to read a good book, but mere hours to hate read young adults. Oh my goodness. Kill me.
Oh.
These get so harsh so fast. Like, oh my goodness. Ella, girl, it's just a series. All right, next we're gonna do The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Okay, I'm just gonna read the top part of this. 1.5 stars, 0.5 is for that great idea behind the book. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue was one of the most anticipated and popular books of 2020. The premise, very promising. Imagine this. An immortal girl no one remembers, turn around and in no time she'll be slipping out of your mind. Imagine what historical events she would have been able to witness, what role she could have played, the way she could have helped, or the centuries-old romance with the devil with whom she made her Faustian deal. But no. It's mostly about Addie sleeping around and whining, and then meeting a guy who is not the devil and loving him. Don't let that false advertising fool you. I originally gave this book 2 stars, but I couldn't name a single thing that I liked about it. What's an imaginative idea without a solid plot to bring it to life? Nothing. I don't know what to make of that one. Like, I think with that idea, so many people would take the book in different directions, and that's just where the author took it, I guess. I don't know. Like, there were different historical events. No, just no. This book is so monotonous, repetitive, and shallow. It could have been 100 pages and the story would have been the same. Yeah, but would it have had all of the beautiful quotes? Like, I love Victoria Schwab's writing. I loved reading, just every single sentence was pretty. So different people enjoy different things.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Sometimes you need every single second to be plot-driven.
I gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Other times, like, there's different things I like about different books, I'll say that. Addie is simply wandering around cities in 2 different time periods, meeting strangers and having pointless conversations with them. Nothing seems to have changed about her during the span of 300 years. She hasn't grown up intellectually. She hasn't matured in any way. She has no hobbies, no interests. Addie spends her life walking. I mean, that's not wrong. Nothing is even mentioned about the world around her during those 300 years and the historic events she should have lived through, like, for example, World War II. I thought that when she finally finds the mysterious person who would remember her, the story would pick up, but that didn't happen. We got yet another character that walks aimlessly around, moping and feeling bad for himself. I will say Henry was a little annoying for me as well, I agree. And just as I thought that nothing could possibly make this book any worse, came the ending. I love the ending. I thought it was perfect. I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but I loved it. I loved the ending. What did you not like about the ending? I thought that it came to its natural conclusion. How else do you end that story? I don't know. Was this book well written? No. But it was, though. T. All right, it was. Okay, next we're going to go to 1984 by George Orwell. This is a classic. In my opinion, this is a book that everybody should read. I am just dying to hear what people don't like about it. Misogynistic shit. What? If that's your only takeaway of this book, you've missed the whole point of it. I don't even know what else to say. Get this book away from me. Why is this required reading? I'm dropping out. Why is this required reading?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
That's a disappointing comment. I don't know what else to say. I prefer 1989 by Taylor Swift. See, at least that's like a clever review. Worst novel in the world. I just want to rip it up and burn the pages.
Stop it. Get some help.
Damn, did people really not get the point? This book was written as like a warning to the different systems of government, to the way that governments can control us, to the ways that different governments have controlled different societies in the past. It's a warning. George Orwell wrote this book so that we would not go down that road. And it's important to be aware of this, like the lesson that this book is teaching. I think it's so much bigger than just a story. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. 1984 is the most boring book I have ever read. Crap. This one's like hurting my soul a little bit, like that people feel this way about not that just this book, but the message it's trying to send. Are you kidding me? There's way too many books on my to read and to waste time waiting for this one to get better. Yikes. That was shocking. I gotta say, I did not expect people to feel that way about this book. All right, let's do Rules of Civility. This is a downer. Like, this is the last video I'm filming for today, and what a downer. Maybe I should have started with this and then brought myself up with talking about books I like. I read this for school. The disappointment is getting disappointing. Rules of Civility in a nutshell. 1930s New Yorker using her charm and wit to survive quitting her job during the Great Depression, nonstop partying during the Great Depression, and belittling others for their way of making ends meet during the Great Depression. Did I mention she also somehow remains completely unaffected by the Great Depression?
No. Well,
I don't know if I have enough brain power left to write a review. The amount of times I dozed off while reading this is a lot. Anyways, review to come, possibly. I can see maybe people don't like the pacing. It is historical fiction. It's not very plot driven, so I can kind of see that. Here were two girls from the perfume counter at Macy's, solidly in their 30s, a little sour with the knowledge that their best years were behind them. This is a male author presuming to know what women are thinking via his perspective as one whose it is to bestow the male gaze upon deserving subjects. I got about 3 pages in. I have this rule: as soon as a male author, in describing a female character, mentions in passing and apropos of nothing how very old they are in their late 20s or 30s, I am done. You know what? I will agree with that. That's not old. Society, come on now. They do this all the time, and now I just quit. I have 3 daughters who have to live and read in this world. I've had quite enough of fretting that the bloom has gone off the rose. In fact, my daughters should never have to worry about the bloom at all. Screw the bloom. Women have better things to think about. Yes, Kathleen.
Yes, Queen.
This novel has a female protagonist. LOL, good luck getting a clue what she's thinking, Amor. You know what? I kind of love that review. Didn't expect that to happen while reviewing these 1-star reviews of books I love, but I agree with that. Further to that point, why are we always writing main female characters in their teens? Like, why don't we ever write women in action or fantasy that are in their 30s? Like, hello? Why are they always teenagers? Sick of that. I'm sick of that too. Kathleen, yes. I give your 1-star review a 5-star. You are absolutely right, my girl.
Nice.
Last one for this book, and then we'll move on. It's hard to put into words how passionately I hated this. Every character was unlikable. Well, I didn't think that. And every action was offensive, largely because of the author through them oozed insincerity. Nearly every sentence presented a fresh atrocity. The only thing I liked about the book was the appendix containing George Washington's actual rules of civility, which are deeply endearing. Okay, so that is a really cute add-on to the book, The Rules of Civility by George Washington, which gets mentioned in the book and then is part of the appendix after the book. But I don't agree with any of this first part of this review. Okay, we've got 2 more. Next up, we're doing Murder on the Orient Express. So I just recently finished this book as part of book club in July, and I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. It's perfect. I can't imagine what somebody has to say about this that's negative. Warning, unpopular opinion ahead. Well, that was disappointing. I found it terrifically overrated. I honestly don't understand the high ratings. I mean, did I miss something? You did. You did, Sway. You missed it. The train passed you by. That was a good burn. The premise was okay. I just feel like it would have perhaps been better served as a short story. It's like 200 pages, not even. What? It is short. What is your threshold for short and long? Anyway, I'm taking this very personally, sorry. Overall, I found the book formulaic and boring, and I didn't give a foop about a single one of the characters. That last point is fair, maybe, you know, because they're just kind of all there as suspects. So slow, I hated it. Really? I felt like every scene belonged in there, like it was all just building a case. So I think if you don't like this book, then maybe you just don't like the genre in general, like murder mystery, you know, detective kind of I don't know. Agatha Christie has she has a way of writing her books that maybe I guess just isn't for everyone, but I loved it. Maybe I'm not a mystery person, but this was severely disappointing. I literally closed the book and said that was dumb. What? Oh my gosh. There was no thrill, no comedy, no entertainment, and the ending was anticlimactic. A total waste of time and money. I'm very confused how this is so popular. Really couldn't stand this book at all, was bored from the start to the end, drags so hard, and it's just dull and straightforward. People, come on now. Well, I think we can all agree that that was a little shocking, interesting, some things that I wasn't expecting to come out of that. I think I'm definitely going to do this type of video again in the future once I have another collection of books that I want to check out 1-star reviews of. Make sure you check out the book reviews that I did from the last month, where I did talk about some of the books brought up today. And make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Let me know in the comments below which of these reviews was on the nose or just made you laugh the most. I would love to hear your feedback on that. Make sure to check out my Instagram and my Goodreads accounts. They are linked below in the description. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. I'll see you all very soon. And until then, happy reading.